like it just kind of clicked.
Woo! Get it fucking click. It is finally time, Whitley.
We are here.
We are here.
This has been a long time coming.
2 months, baby.
I guess 2 months isn't that long, but it feels
well, you've
like
been
it's
through
been a
what
long
we've
time.
been through in this 2 months.
Right.
2 months is 2
Shoot,
years.
even tonight, if you've
even
been
tonight has been the amount of takes we've had to take to get this thing correct.
and it's not our fault. We've just had technical difficulties.
And you learn as you go.
Yeah, we're doing this all on our own right now.
Hey, independent women.
Cheers to that.
Period. Okay, so welcome to Airin Wit. I'm Erin.
And I'm Whitley.
And this is our new podcast where we'll talk sports and life. And if you cannot tell, we are about out of life tonight. So stick
It's
with
only
us.
1 a.m.
We've been doing this since 7 p.m. And this is going to be the take that makes it. So really quickly, how did we get the name Airin Wit, Whitley?
Well, I feel like there are a couple stories to this, but like how we originally even came up with the podcast, kind of all happened at like 3, 4 a.m. Saturday night, All-Star weekend.
All-Star weekend.
After maybe one too many beverages, but we had a time.
Souped up on Sauvignon Blanc, but who hates it? Nobody.
And,
and if you
a
do,
little bit of Henny, but
definitely a little bit of Henny. But
maybe a lot of bit of Henny, but
if you don't
anyways.
like it, this is not the podcast for you because we have a good time. We
do have
live
a good
life
time.
and we talk a lot of sports, okay? Speaking of sports, we are in the playoffs.
Hallelujah.
I'm
like,
telling you,
woo!
it's been a long time.
It was
now,
close.
That has been a long time coming.
Well, kind of.
It felt like a long time coming. Last year, the reason why we got so close is because we go into a seasonal depression when the NBA season is over, and we ended up in Cancun.
We did.
Okay? We had to take a trip because we were like, oh my gosh, what do we do with our time now?
We also had a time then, too.
We did have a time.
I mean, I'm not complaining.
I'm not either because look at us now,
Yes.
podcasting. But now we are in the playoffs, so we don't have to worry about this. So how exciting at the fact that the Warriors clinched their playoff seed finally after defeating the Grizzlies.
Yeah. Shout out Memphis.
Shout out to my city. What? Any other night, Memphis, y'all know I got you. But I'm trying to keep my season going, and I'm no longer covering you guys. I'm covering the Warriors, so I had to go for Steph and Jimmy Buckets and GP2 and Quentin Post, who showed out in the first half. Like, what? Who thought he was going to come in and hit 3 trades?
I mean, he's been playing well before he got sick.
Yeah.
He's been playing well.
So, okay. Who else has been playing well?
I mean,
The X Factor.
well, Steph's always playing.
the
Jimmy
new
Butler.
X
I mean,
Factor,
playoff
yes.
Jimmy is a real thing,
Oh,
like Draymond said.
It
like,
is a real thing.
And it's you have these certain players that you can just see a look in their eye, and like when you know that they know it's
Locked
time that they
in.
have to like
For sure.
turn it up a notch,
Mhm.
and that's Jimmy. Like it's just
That's Jimmy.
playoff Jimmy has been, and it's technically it wasn't even a playoff game; it was a play-in game.
It was
but
a play-in
still,
game,
just,
but it was
like,
for the
yes.
playoffs, and he
And
locked in.
so I'm excited for the playoffs to
I'm
see what he does.
excited for the playoffs too because I do think that we see now a bit of cohesiveness amongst the Warriors roster that we haven't seen in a long time, and we saw that immediately once Jimmy Butler was added to the roster. Not that they didn't have the star power already, but it seemed like there was a little bit of disconnection when it came to the roster as a whole. But now Steph Curry seems like he's in the place where he wants to be. Draymond Green is back into that enforcer role. Not that he ever gave it up, but he's able to actually kind of lean into that. And it seems like his hands are a little bit more free to focus on that now that Jimmy Butler is in the building, of course, with the Warriors.
And Jimmy does everything that the Warriors needed
Everything.
to win. Like they were struggling, with turnovers. They were struggling at getting to the free throw line.
Agreed.
Jimmy does all those things for them.
Agreed.
And they were struggling at making free throws, although Jimmy has been struggling a little bit from the line. It's funny because he's been shooting better from 3, but he has been like not as consistent
it's
as
funny because he
shooting
said
free
that
throws.
shooting free throws. What he said that missing free throws the other night after the Grizzlies game bothers him less
Yes.
than turnovers.
Yep.
I like the sound of that. Now,
I
we
do too.
need your free
Yep.
throws, but we need you to take care of the ball more than anything. at
Did you
this
catch the
point.
moment last night where he after he finally made 2 free throws in a row, he thanked the basket and he did a little wink to the basket. He's like, "Thank you," and he blew it a kiss. And that's just who Jimmy is.
Jimmy.
Erica Badu burning candles in his locker before games.
Yes, setting the vibes, getting everything right, thanking the basket, of course.
Yep.
Hopefully you were thanking the Lord, but we'll see. Either way, I'm glad that whoever you was thanking, it was because you made them baskets.
Yeah.
And we need you to do the same thing in the playoffs. Now, obviously, speaking of the playoffs, Warriors, Rockets, what do we think?
This, I think, we're going to see. This sounds like such well, of course Steph's going to go off. But the last time they played the Rockets, we saw obviously how they defended Steph.
Agreed.
And they really enjoyed that. And they were talking a lot of shit after, or can I say shit? They were talking a lot of stuff after. Where's the swear jar? They're talking so much stuff to Steph.
Yeah.
And I just think that they poke the bear. And
Agreed.
I just know Steph makes adjustments. And they've really motivated him. And I think that this might be an all-time. I mean, we've seen some incredible playoff performances, obviously, from Steph, especially the 2022, run when they won the championship. But I think we're going to see just Steph,
go off.
With
it, too. I agree. And I have said this the entire time, ever since they lost the game to the Clippers. And, of course, they had to, go into the play-in. I like the Houston Rockets matchup with the Warriors much more than I like the Lakers and Warriors as a first series in the playoffs. I can't hold you. I really do. I just think the veteran experience that the Warriors have will carry them through a 7-game series with the Rockets. Don't get me wrong. The Rockets are a talented team. That's why they're number 2 in the West. But I also believe that experience is the best teacher. And if the Warriors know anything...
We've already had experience with this.
We have had
experience. Sorry.
You will see.
Not to interrupt your team.
But... we still intact. The set is still intact. But I definitely think that veteran experience actually will help this moment or help the Warriors through this series, whereas the moment could be a little bit too big in a 7-game series for the Rockets, who are young and learning. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. I think a young team that I'm not worried about in a 7-game series at this point is OKC. But the Rockets, I don't feel like they have that pedigree just yet. Not to say they're not a good team, not to say they're not an aggressive team, an intense team with great players. And when it comes to Jalen Green, I've always been partial. I've always loved Dylan Brooks. I've always loved Thompson. You know what I'm saying?
Don't tell Warriors.
I have. I'm a Memphis bred Memphian. We drafted Brooks, and I've always loved his grittiness. I hated when he had to go. And honestly, I like what he brings to the game. And to be honest with you, Warriors, you can hate me for it, but the same thing is what Draymond Green brings to the game. That grittiness, that I'm going to hand it to you, that I'm going to play you hard. And I may make some irrational plays, but it doesn't matter because I'm doing it in the name of the game, and I'm doing it for my team. And
he
I'm
does,
with it.
yeah. But the difference is Draymond's won.
Draymond had one. Okay.
That's the only difference.
Hot take. That is
and
true.
I mean, the thing is, though, he has the confidence. And in this league, to make it, you have to have that confidence. So I do respect that aspect.
Yeah, agreed.
I just feel like I need you to win if you're going to act like this.
Okay.
That's the only thing.
But sometimes to be successful, you got to be a little delulu.
Yeah, no, for sure. Especially in this league. Like I said, to make it, you have to have that irrational confidence.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of like Pods.
Kind of like Pods.
He has that irrational confidence, which it wasn't his best game last night.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think it's anything irrational about Pod's confidence.
No, not irrational. That's not the correct word. But I love Pod's confidence. I love Pod's confidence.
And he's so calm and he's so collected. It's almost like he always knew he would develop into the player that he's developed in, even when he had a rough start to the season, which is why I'm so excited. It was something about when he got drafted that night and his dad was like, he'll run through the wall or whatever he said. He's a dog, whatever he said about his son, that I just had a belief in Pods from the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
I was shocked when he had a rough start to this season. I wasn't shocked when he found himself once again and figured out where his place was in this league. And I'm so happy that he solidified himself in a pivotal role for the Warriors in just his second year with the Warriors, because I think that he deserved that time, and I think he just had to figure out where his role was in this league after they figured out the little things that he was able to do last season that kept him on the floor. The league got him. They got him on the scouting report. They realized what it was that he could do. They took those things away, and then he had to reinvent his game, get a little bit more of a dimension to his game. And I think he was able to do that. He had a few injuries that kind of, I think, blessing in disguise. He was able to sit back, watch, and see what was going on and actually understand what his game needed to develop into. And in a short amount of time, he was able to do that.
I also feel like always second year, I feel like there's always kind of a second year slump players go through, especially if you had a decent rookie season.
Agreed.
I think sometimes there's those expectations, and then all of a sudden you have to live up to those expectations. Yeah. Especially on a roster before where it probably wasn't as helpful to Pods before they got Jimmy. Yeah. Him and Jimmy's relationship, incredible. They're very close.
Agreed. And I can only imagine how cool he thinks this is now that he's actually finally going into a playoff series, which he has not been in with the Warriors since he joined the team because they were kicked out by Sacramento in the play-in last season.
Yeah, so I'm
Very excited.
And I'm excited to see what he does in the playoffs.
Same.
Like we said, with that confidence.
Same. I'm excited to see what they all do.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun ride.
Houston, though, they are young. They are athletic. Their defense, I do think, will wear the Warriors down to a certain extent. Not where they're going to beat them in a 7-game series.
Agreed.
I don't believe that. And I do think that they lack some shooting. I think the last time they played the Warriors, they shot the ball pretty well, but they do lack some shooting. But I don't know. I'm feeling pretty confident about this series.
Easy series by no means.
No, definitely not.
But I do think if I had to put my money on it, I'm going Warriors. Mm-hmm. Speaking of money, somebody won a lot of money.
Hold up. Today was a big day for me.
What $1 made me holler? What they say?
Let me.
Because baby, you was hollering. Okay.
She was sitting here and we were getting ready, and I was literally screaming. I won on Prize Picks today 3 bets. 3. I won
big
a total.
The
I
big
won
Whit.
$200.
Not the little one.
Yes.
Hear her out. This is the parlay princess. So tell me, how did it go?
I wish you guys could see all these.
Well, they can't, so tell them.
I think they call these green beans in betting. I'm learning. I just started betting 2 weeks ago.
And we love green beans.
So shout out Prize Picks. So this one was a flex play.
Okay.
So Klay Thompson sold me. Love you, Klay, but you did sell me because I needed him to have 8 3-point attempts.
Klay.
He only had 7.
Klay.
But I did the flex play, so I get some of my money back. So I basically won because I hit on all the other 3.
Period.
And then these other 2, baseball, Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani.
And the Shohei was hard to get, yeah? Mm-hmm. Well, it was one of those
that was like one of the underdog ones. Yeah.
Exactly.
And then this one, all 4.
What was it?
So this was the one, it's like a whole list of players, but.
Okay, so we got Tyler Hero. I'm not sure what this means, but it says.
he basically needed 19 or 20 points.
Okay.
And then Vucevic.
Okay.
He needed 8 rebounds.
Okay.
And then Josh Giddey, I needed him over 38.5 points, rebounds, assists.
Okay.
Hit.
Okay.
And then Bam Adebayo, I had him under 35.5 points, rebounds, assists.
Okay.
Hit all of them.
Hey. You know they say when you got a good...
today was a good day.
Hey,
like winning
today
really
was a
just
good
your
day.
soul just feels different when you win. Like I love winning. Oh gosh, just look at all those green marks. Prize Picks, sponsor us.
Join the winning team.
Give me some promos, please.
Join the winning team. Okay, because...
Okay, sorry about that. But
we don't apologize for making money now. That's what we're in it for.
Today was just such a great day.
And you're going to have to teach me how to make money.
I will.
I can't.
I will.
My bets will be all over the place, and I wouldn't win
No,
a thing.
you would kill it. I
don't know.
Although I will say, it will make you mad because, like, we know sports.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I started 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I've had so many where I've just missed by one. Like one, I almost won $150, but Luka sold me because I just needed him to get one more 3. Mm-hmm. He didn't get it. Mm-hmm. So there are like certain things where it's like, you know that certain things typically would happen and they don't. Mm-hmm. You're like, it gets in your head a little bit, but it's fun. Yeah.
And we win money.
Today I did.
At least
not every other day, but today I sure did.
She wins money. I win by association. Right. Okay, maybe she can teach me a thing or two. Okay, and so speaking of teaching, let's teach these people, or not teach, but tell. How did we come up with our name, Erin? Well, not our name, but how did we come up with our idea of podcast? Really quickly, if we're gonna have a little bit of a story time here to explain how we came up with this idea to even come here, talk a little bit of sports, because although we do talk about sports, which you will hear much more of our sports takes throughout our podcast, but we do want to kind of give you a backstory as to why it was that we decided to do this together, because this is my girl, but an unlikely friend, or at least maybe it seemed unlikely at the beginning when I first moved here, because you had been here for a while, right?
Yeah, for a few years.
For years, and I'm now coming up on 2.5.
That's so crazy. Like you're still new to the Bay.
Very new, and it feels very new to me for a Southerner coming from Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis through and through.
Like
Pac is like,
like, can you move over?
Pac is like, look, this is my beanbag, okay?
Okay.
The way he did not move.
Grunted. He just like grunted.
He was like, yo, what are you doing? Okay.
Anyways, I'll just be squished over here.
So, All-Star Week 2025, San Francisco is where all the magic happened.
Still recovering.
Yeah.
Still recovering. Great weekend.
A good time.
A great time. A time was had.
A time was had. Worked hard. Played a little harder.
Came up with our whole podcast concept. Back then we had a little bit of a different name.
We did have a different name. Didn't make a lot of sense. Let's just say we may reveal it to you one day, but
when we're a few more glasses of wine deep, we'll reveal it to you.
Exactly. When we are, not driving. That is our intention behind this podcast, to show you guys obviously our fun side that you don't get to see a lot of, because we work very hard. We are very hard working women, which is the reason why we've made it this far in our career at such 100%. Such a short turnaround time. I'm 5 years in, and I'm here in San Francisco. You about the same?
I've lost count, but it's been a while. But I mean, we've definitely had to work our way up to this point.
Work hard, okay?
And like you were saying, I think an important aspect of this podcast for me, and that I want people to know that they can expect, is fun. Because we're fun at work, but we're also so serious. And
very serious.
This industry, especially as women in this industry, we're already kind of perfectionists, but it will turn you into a perfectionist where it's like, because you have to work. I'm just going to say it. I feel like as a woman, you have to work 10 times harder than most of the men in this industry. Oh, yeah. And we're not complaining, because we love what we do. We love a lot of the men we work with.
Yeah, of course. But they make you better.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. But you do have to work 10 times harder. And so you have to be perfect all the time. And this podcast, we just want to let loose. We just want to have fun, talk sports, which we love.
Talk about us, because we love that too.
In our life.
And how much fun it is to cover sports. Because I have had the best time covering sports in the Bay Area. Some embarrassing moments.
I've had a lot of those.
Some shameless moments. Some shameful moments. But I have enjoyed my time being in the Bay Area covering sports, from covering the Warriors, the Niners, even the San Jose Sharks, Bay FC, when it comes to the earthquakes. I mean, I've been around the block, okay? Stanford, Cal. It is so much here to cover and so much here to talk about. And so obviously we're not going to make this episode too long, because you will learn a lot about us in story time. You will learn a lot about us in our segment where we air it out. So should we air something out tonight? Should we give the people a little tease as to what they should expect out of us?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to air some stuff out, but mine's not anything personal. I just want to air something out from the Grizzlies game.
Okay, you go first.
The officials, at the end of the game, they had several bad calls, but that one that they called a foul on Pods that was clearly a block, that was
wild.
That's what I want to air out, because that was just
bad.
Said
wear out.
Air it out, all of the above, but that was bad.
No, that was a bad call. I thought the foul on Looney was a bad call, even though the post ref report did not have that call as one of the calls that they should have not made or should have made better. But the Pods call was on there. That was not a foul. It was clear that there was a clear block. They also had on their report that, get this, the game-changing call was actually that Steph knocked the ball out of bounds on the play where Ja Morant was going for it, where they actually called a foul, which is what sent Steph to the line, which is what put the game out of reach for the Grizzlies, because he went and knocked both of those free throws down, and that extended their lead with just seconds left on the clock. And they said that there was actually an out-of-bounds call on Steph. Now, I'm not complaining, because as I mentioned earlier, we're in the playoffs. But on the other end, I am Memphis through and through. And I hated to see my boys lose on a bad call. I just wish that, I don't get fined talking about the refs. So I will say this, and I will say it proudly. Now, if y'all going to blow the whistle, make sure it makes sense, especially when the game is on the line on both ends. Because that was not a foul on Pods. I don't think it was a foul on Looney down low at the end. And it wasn't an out-of-bounds play on it wasn't a foul on Ja Morant when the ball was knocked out of bounds. However, I stand by that 5-second call now, Memphis. It was 5 seconds. It was actually more than 5 seconds. Yeah. I counted it myself, and it was a little over 5 seconds. I don't know what Santi was doing, baby, but getting the ball out of bounds was not it. And maybe he shouldn't have been over there, and maybe y'all should have drew up another play, but Taylor Jenkins is not there. Not that he should be. I don't know. I'm not going to weigh in on that. That's another conversation for another day. But there was absolutely a 5-second call. So all the uproar and the outrage on that play has to cease. I'm sorry. I love y'all. But no.
I do kind of want to bring up one more thing on this topic, though.
Okay.
Because I just want your opinion. Because I know how you feel about, the Grizzlies and Ja Morant.
Yeah.
The face of the league.
My boy.
That's been a topic. And Ja, he basically had it in his hands before all the off the court incidents happened.
He did.
Now it's like everyone thinks that he can't get it back, and he's not helping himself with some of his celebrations. Although I think the grenade celebration, I actually like that one.
I like it.
I like that one.
There's nothing wrong. I'm gonna be honest with you. They gotta stop with the policing of the celebrations.
Yeah.
Now,
the gun one, I get a little bit just because of its history.
Mind you, some celebrations you just shouldn't do because it doesn't make sense, especially when you've gotten in trouble for that very thing.
Mm-hmm.
However, I do think that some celebrations, like I did not like that they got rid of the nose wipe with CeeDee Lamb because
that's that one. Yeah.
I did not think that it was what they were insinuating it was. Now, apparently, a baseball player slid into home plate and sniffed dirt. And that was what sparked the outrage. Now, why you would do that, I don't know, but that's where cultural appropriation goes wrong, okay? Because I don't think that was what that meant when you wipe the nose. Yeah. So, like,
I don't know exactly what it meant, but I
don't think nobody was sniffing dirt with their finger. I don't think that was the case. If you know what I mean.
I know.
So I am going to air out that grievance.
Yeah.
But that is not, I think the one thing I want to, what do I want to air out?
But I do want to know your opinion, though, on the face of the league about Ja Morant. So, like, also another topic is how it could, for the first time, maybe be an international player because you have all these other players who don't want to be the face of the league. I just think the face of the league is just.
I think
what is the face of the league? Like,
I don't think it should be determined on whether or not you are a U.S. born citizen or international player. Yeah. I think the face of the league belongs to whoever is the face of the league. But I think you have to give it to. I think the politics have to be taken out of it because I think that the face of the league is who people believe is the face of the league.
Yeah,
based off of who it is that they want to see play, and obviously, Ja Morant has kind of fallen out of that spotlight because he's not the player that he has always been. Because we just saw this man being guarded by GP2, where Jimmy Butler stepped into the help, and this man threw the ball around the back of Jimmy Butler's head into the backboard to the other side of the backboard, caught it, and then laid it up in the air.
And even after he got injured, his ankle, like he could barely move out there, and he was still scoring like it was nothing.
Yeah, I mean, Ja Morant is a different type of guy. You get
He's a different player. He's so smooth.
He is different, and I do think that he deserves that credit. I also think that he has to know to whom much is given, much is required, and it sucks sometimes to be in that position, but you got to understand how to take care of those positions. And I do think that he can rebound. I think that he's understood. I don't know that a lesson has been learned. I don't know that a lesson needed to be learned. I don't know that it was a lesson that he didn't already know. More so, he just didn't give a care to pay attention to at a time. But I do think that he could earn that place. But I don't know. I don't know what it would take. I really don't understand the politics of the league as much because I don't like the fact that there are politics in a game of basketball. I think what you see is what you get, and I don't think that we should complicate it any more than it needs to be.
Yeah.
And so I do think that this is their job. You get what I'm saying? And with that comes requirements, and you do have to understand that you have a reputation to protect and a reputation on the line. But could he get it back playing the way he plays? I think so. He has to stay healthy. He has to stay out there. He has to stay out of trouble. But how likely that he is, I can't necessarily say. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Was there anything else you wanted to air out?
What do I want to air out?
Yeah,
I feel like outside of sports, I want to talk about.
One thing I could air out right now are these bean bags because I have fuzz all up in my lashes, my mouth right now. Look at. I don't think you can see them.
They can't see.
But if you can, it's covered in fuzz right now.
No. They're funny. No, the bean bags are something. They are doing something for us because there is fuzz everywhere. What do I want to air out? Uber. I have a real problem with you right now. Okay. First of all, it took a lot of courage, me being from the South, to me even start to use Uber because I didn't do ride sharing. I drove everywhere, and so I just didn't drink when I went out. But then I moved to San Francisco, where Uber is headquartered, and I love you. I am loyal to who I am loyal to, but I tell you one more time, if you send another taxi to my house when I'm ordering an Uber, you're done. And I'm deleting the app and I'm switching to Lyft. Okay? I didn't order a taxi. Okay?
I think we need the backstory of why you feel so deeply about this.
Okay.
Because All-Star Weekend. It was low-key my fault because I'm the one that ordered the Uber. And I think it just switched to because there's like a taxi tab. Now, sometimes I think it just gives you a taxi.
I don't care.
But I feel like that, I
didn't order.
Yeah.
There is literally a number to call for a taxi cab. I ordered an Uber.
But we were getting ready to go to the Curry Brand party.
Yes.
Friday night, the All-Star Weekend. Party.
Mm-hmm.
I order the Uber and we go outside, you know. I'm like, Erin, it's here. And she's like, there's no way that taxi right there is
like, that's not the Uber.
I was like, oh, it is.
And not only was it not like back in the day, I'd have took one of them box taxis from back in the day that you see on all the movies in New York. No, this was the ugliest hybrid
taxi.
Big bird,
green,
yellow and green taxi. It's All-Star Weekend, and we're going to a party hosted by Steph Curry. And not that matters. But I'm not pulling up to nobody party in a green and yellow minivan / what do they call them when they're cars? Sedan? In a sedan and SUV? Yeah. So it was a mix. Whatever those, the crossover. It was a crossover. It? Well, it looked like it to me.
I thought it was like a Prius.
Whatever it was. It was not what I ordered, okay?
She literally wasn't going to get in. I'm like, Erin, it's here. Like, we're going to do this.
So you imagine.
I was like laughing so hard. Mm-hmm. She's over here like, I'm not getting in this. I'm laughing so hard.
I'm not getting in this car. Where is the Tesla?
I'm like, also, this would be us. This is something that we just would do and it would happen to us.
So we're in heels and dresses. Tight short dresses as we are about to go have the time of our lives during All-Star Week, and this green and yellow taxi pulls up and I'm just like, this can't be it. Y'all not kidnapping me today. Looked at the license plate. Oh, it matches. All right. So cool. I say cancel. No. Cancel the Uber.
I made her ass get it.
Yes, you did. You did. You made me get it.
And I was laughing the entire way to this party.
We did. We laughed the whole time, which is where we came up with the podcast name, which it did not make the cut. But either way, that just goes to show how inebriated we were. Either way, we get into this taxi, and he wants to pull up right in front of the door. Who getting out? Who's getting out?
I would have hopped right out.
I told him to pull down 3 blocks. So Uber number games. Okay. All right. So that was fun. Now, obviously, this is the first episode, so we're not getting too deep into what you will understand and see in this podcast. But we wanted to make sure that we got on here. It has been a really busy week.
Yeah. We have so much we want to talk about, too. Like, I could just go on so many rants and stuff right now, but we'll save that for the next episode.
Yeah.
I keep having to remind myself we're doing these at least weekly.
Yeah. We're doing these
We have
weekly.
A lot to talk about.
A lot to talk about, but we've also had the craziest last 2 weeks covering the Warriors. Myself also have not a lot of sleep
at all.
Preparing for the Niners draft because
Valkyries.
That is
shout out the Valkyries.
Also being present for the Valkyries draft. And I was there this morning. Welcome to the Bay Area. We are excited to see what the Valkyries are able to do this season. Training camp is getting started here soon, and in the season soon after. very excited about that. Very anxious to see what in the world are the Niners going to do.
That's the big question. What are the Niners going to do? I feel like we're all waiting. There's not that much hype around the draft, I feel like.
Well, because they didn't traded everybody. Everybody is gone. Like, and we still don't have a contract for Brock Purdy. OTAs are Tuesday.
I mean, that has to be why they got rid of everyone, though, because they're
well. That's the thing, yeah. And George Kittle is wanting a contract as well. He wants an extension, and rightfully so. He's had one of the best seasons of his career this past season, and of course, he had the better season of anybody on the actual Niners roster that was able to stay healthy and able to play, or even those that were healthy. George Kittle showed out this past season, and he pretty much was the mainstay for the Niners, especially when it came to making something happen in crunch time. It was George Kittle that was making that happen. So obviously they need to pay the man, and he wants to be paid. He has made it clear he wants to remain a Niner. So between that, OTAs being on Tuesday, the draft being this coming Thursday and Friday and Saturday, covering the Valkyries draft and who they brought in. Obviously, one of their draft picks, their first at 5. She has not made it into the Bay Area just yet because she's playing overseas. Yeah. So, it's been
a week. It's been a couple weeks.
It has been intense covering the Warriors, but I am never going to complain about covering the NBA. It is so much fun to be there with these guys and watch them play, even though it's been intense. Because, my God.
I feel like your eyes are literally closing.
I'm so tired.
I feel like it's time to wrap it up.
I'm so tired. It is. And our battery is dying. So,
that's our cue. It's been a night.
We're going to wrap this podcast up. This is Airin Wit. We will definitely get in more detail, tell you more story times, and we will definitely air out more things than you can imagine in this
and
podcast.
Give you a more behind the scenes look. I feel like
yes,
we'll give a lot of that. Yeah,
a lot more to tell you. But tonight we're gonna wrap it up because we're tired. We've been working hard.
That's a wrap.
We're about to go to bed. Into the playoffs.
I'm about to pass out on this beanbag right here.
5?
5?
No, I'm just playing.
Oh, okay.
You know how you been.
I mean, you never know. I'm gonna say at least 6.
No, the Lakers in 5 is everywhere. Shin and Sharp. Yeah, I was just I don't know what the Warriors will do as long as the Warriors come out.
Yeah.
I can't say they won't do it. All I'm saying is they need to.
We'll see.
This is Airin Wit. Airin Wit. I can't even say her name correct.
And that's all she wrote.
And that is all she
Mic drop.
wrote.